basketball action on 97.9 The River.
I'm with Ashland Tomcats head coach Ryan Bonner. And Ryan, first off, coming off a good win a week ago against Henry Clay, where there were a lot of positives.
Yeah, lots of positives from that game. I thought we played well on both ends of the floor. Did a lot of really good things. Like I said, offensively and defensively, it was nice to get Drew going and see him make some shots. I thought, physically, I thought that was the best Elijah Neal has looked all year. So I think we finally got him back to 100% health. I thought, quite frankly, we played extremely hard. Looking back on that game, the job that we did collectively on Jackson Steffen, their best player, was really, really good. Held into 7 points on 5 field goal attempts. So I felt like we were really dialed in as a team for that game, and it showed in the way that we played. It seems like ages ago, but we really needed this week of practice to refine some things, particularly in the half court, that I felt like we needed to get better at. And I really thought that this week we did make some strides offensively, but we'll find out tonight how effective that week of practice was.
Yeah, and Chapmanville, a team that we become acclimated with a little bit in part through summer basketball. They made some trips here over the summer, and great program, won by 8 last year, and this year, though, they've got a lot back, and they've got a couple big guys and then a couple on the outside that can really get going in a hurry.
Yeah, they can score it in a variety of different ways. Jay Brock and Dakota Dalton can fill it up from the perimeter. They're both guys that can hit multiple threes within a game. And then they have a strong inside presence in Benji Adkins and the Smith kid, and they just got Keaton Terry healthy. Last night was his first game with him. He's another dominant inside presence. So they can hurt you inside, they can hurt you outside. And what's unique about them is Benji Adkins, who looks like a traditional big man, also handles the ball quite a bit for them. So they're a unique opponent, and it's one of those teams that they're very successful. They've won state titles in the past, I think 2 or 3 in the past 10 years. So they know what it takes to win championships, and these are the types of games that are always going to prepare us for down the road, especially when you look at their size.
Yeah, Chapmanville just 3 seasons removed from one, and always a contender in their class. And what would you say with Benji Adkins? That's one thing, because I was watching him on film, and that's one thing. There's no real predictable element at times to his game.
Yeah, I think the first thing, he's a very dominant downhill player. And when you look at a kid like him on film, you think that you would be able to heat him up and pressure him and force him into bad decisions. But he handles the ball extremely well for someone his size. And he's right-handed, but he's left-hand dominant. So if you over pursue him with pressure, he's big enough and strong enough to go by you and then finish tough twos at the basket. So what he does is very different. We struggled with it at times last year. So we're going to have to be really good on-ball defenders. And, there's going to have to be 4 guys behind the basketball tonight really squeezing down and keeping the ball out of the paint. And then, with their size, they're such a good rebounding team. We have to really limit their second chances and then get out and run. I think one of the advantages we do have on them this evening is our speed, our athleticism, and our pace of play. And that's most nights. Most nights we do have that advantage. It's just, are we utilizing that to our advantage or not? And we're going to have to absolutely do that tonight if we want to put ourselves in position to win.
Well, let's talk about with the team and the practices a little bit, and the health. How's everybody feeling tonight after the week off?
We are back to full health, thankfully. I think making the decision to sit Drew Smith and Elijah Neal paid dividends for us. While it hurt not having them out on the floor, it really, you could tell it benefited us by the week that those two both had in practice. They were both outstanding. Their cut speed, pace of play, shot making ability, all that was back at 100% where it should be. Like I said, as a team, I thought that we made strides offensively in the half court. by just slowing down and just practicing. You know, I think that everybody this time of the year gets in such a tizzy to just play. And I think what ends up happening is it masks some things that you might not be seeing that you need to be getting better at. And I thought it was well timed this week off that we had. And like I said, hopefully that's a reflection of our performance tonight, because, you know, we should have fresh legs, fresh bodies, fresh minds. And I know that our guys are hungry to compete at this point.
And mentioning the half-court game, we're starting to see some things come around. And one player, actually, Justin Hughes, showed so much more confidence against Henry Clay. I mean, the defensive performance on Stephen, and he's up to about 37% shooting from downtown now.
Yes, and you know, Justin and I talked, and we need him to be at that number because we need teams to be more honest defensively, and that also gives him the ability to attack hard closeouts. And with somebody of his athletic caliber, if he gets a hard closeout, he can blow right by that, and now he's able to make plays at the rim. So his shot-making ability isn't going to just open up the floor for all of us as a team. It's going to help him get more opportunities at the rim. And when he's scoring at a high level, we're better. We're a better basketball team. And, you know, he's also spent a lot of time on his own, getting into the gym on his own time, getting shots up to make sure that percentage is going up, and it's where we need him to be. Because if we can keep him between 37 and 40%, we are deadly on offense. And you know, outside of the offense, talking about Justin Hughes, he's just been he's been a tone setter for us on the defensive end. You know, I really felt like against Henry Clay, the job that he did on Jackson Steffen really set the tone for our entire team for that whole night. And you know, he's becoming more physical on the defensive end. He's becoming more vocal. And it's just really nice to see him step into that role, because he's so valuable to us. I mean, he you know, our kids joke all the time, but he really is. He's our X factor, in my opinion.
Yes, Hughes, who held Steffen to, we mentioned 7 points, yet Steffen averages 21 a game. So a great showing. Well, Coach Bonner, thank you so much for the time. And we're going to take a break and come back shortly here on 97.9 The River.
Giovanni's has great Italian dishes. Spaghetti with meat sauce, lasagna, ravioli, manicotti, and baked lasagna. Giovanni's has the best sandwiches around, from the stromboli, Italian sub, calzones, and their signature Big Red. All dinners will be served with hot garlic bread or Italian rolls. Giovanni's Pizza, fresh, hot, and tasty. Have it delivered right to your door. Giovanni's, the Italian place to be.
Metro Community Federal Credit Union now brings you all the tech that big banks have, but still has that personal touch of a member-owned community credit union. Apple Pay? Got it. Digital wallet? Yep. Message pay by text, online loan payments, even chatting with a real person, not a bot. Open accounts, sign documents, and manage your money all online. It's the big bank tech you need from the local community-minded credit union you trust. Metro Community FCU. Visit metrocommunityfcu.com today.
Hey, it's Big John. Are you hungry for a taste of home? Well, come on down to Uncle Paul and Missy's Country Kitchen, located 230 16th Street in Ashland. They serve bold-fashioned home-cooked meals in a true family atmosphere. From hearty breakfast to daily specials, there's always something fresh and on the table. Bring the whole family and let them do the cooking. Proud supporters of the Ashland Tomcats, Uncle Paul and Missy's is cooking up that hot Tomcat spirit. Uncle Paul and Missy's Country Kitchen, where good food and good company come together. Primary Plus is invested in your health and invested in the health of our communities. With over 14 primary care locations throughout our network, including locations in Ashland, Grayson, South Shore, Vanceburg, and Moorhead, we are more than just a healthcare provider. We are a doctor in the family, caring for every stage of life, including pediatrics, women's health, primary care, mental health, and on-site pharmacies that are open with affordable pricing and exceptional service. Primary Plus is always welcoming new patients. Visit primaryplus.net to learn more about our mission of quality, advanced, affordable health care.
Ashland Tomcat basketball action on 97.9 The River.
We're back here on 97.9 The River. I was Ashland head coach Ryan Bonner, and we're getting ready to start this one here in about 5 minutes. We'll have the tip-off. But looking at these two teams, first off, the Tomcats, we'll start with them. Coached by Ryan Bonner. In his fourth year, he is 80-35, 3 regional championships, 2 Elite Eights. And Ashland averaging 73.9 points per game this year. It's the highest that they've averaged, at least in his 4 seasons so far. They hit almost 8 3-pointers per game, attempt around 22. On the free throw end, they shoot around 71%. They hit about 10 per game, just over 10, and attempt almost 15. Drew Smith on the shooting end leading the way, 40.9% from three-point range. And like Coach Bonner said, it'd be good to see Hughes is really stepping up there on that front, 36.7% on the year. Because that's kind of what and that's how the JVs played tonight. And Ashland won that handily, and a big part of it was the shooting they're known for. They hit 10 threes in the game. They led by 4 at halftime, or 5 at halftime, and just got extremely comfortable in the second half shooting the basketball, and it paid off big for them. I'm curious to see this team, and because I think they're starting to get better on that front. Because I'll give you one number that looks deceptive. Elijah Owens, 11 of 41 from downtown, 26.8%. No, that number's not very good. But when you break it down, he started the season 0 of 11. Since then, he's been 11 of 30. Right at the same as Justin Hughes, right around 37%. Chapmanville comes in. Chapmanville 9-2 on the season. And again, a good bunch that they have. They come in averaging. The downside is I couldn't find the stats, even though I'm, and that's what I'm a stickler for. But I couldn't find the stats that I wanted to. But they come in averaging almost 65 points a game, allowing 54. And this is a team that you can compare to that they can win. They won some high-scoring fests. They won against Mount Hope Christian 77-50. They beat South Charleston 71-55, but they've also won some bangers. They beat Expression Prep, which is the only common opponent between the two, 53-44. Ashland beat them 93-70. Again, score comparison hard to do on that front, but you see the contrasting styles that are there. Their 2 losses are to Erie, Pennsylvania. They played on December 30th at the Daytona Sunshine Classic. They lost 69-47, and their opener, which was against Greater Beckley Christian, they lost 73-68. And again, I say this loosely because they have number 34, Keaton Terry, a 6'7" sophomore coming back. He had 18 points in his first game back this week after a broken wrist. So, I mean, there's a lot that they can, a lot of things have changed for them with him there. So, but they're still getting him acclimated, but it's going to be an exciting game here. We're going to take a break and come back here on 97.9 The River.
No down payment? No problem. Here at KFB, we make homeownership easy with our no down payment home loans. Whether you're buying your first home or ready for something new, KFB is here to guide you every step of the way. Apply today and take the first step towards your dream home with no money down. Restrictions apply. Not all applicants will qualify. KFB, the better bank. Located at Ashland, Catlettsburg, Louisa, Summit, and Wheelersburg. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Tired of seeing those dings, dents, and scratches on your car? Then you need to see McLeod's Body Shop, your trusted partner for all things auto repair and restoration for 45 years. At McLeod's Body Shop, they're not just in the business of fixing cars, they're in the business of turning heads. Their team of skilled technicians are dedicated to bringing your vehicle back to its prime, no matter the make or model. From minor touch-ups to major overhauls, McLeod's Body Shop has you covered. McLeod's Body Shop says, go Tomcats.
Kelly Galloway Smith Goolsby has been providing accounting, tax, and attest services for the tri-state community and across the United States. Since 1951, individuals, medical practices, attorneys, corporations, Main Street businesses, local schools, and governments have relied on us for expert advice, tax preparation, and attest services. With offices in Ashland and Cincinnati, Kelly Galloway Smith Goolsby are here for your accounting and tax needs. For over 70 years, Kelly Galloway Smith Goolsby has been there for businesses in our community. They're here for yours too. Call them and let Kelly Galloway Smith Goolsby provide for the future of your business.
Hey, Tomcat fans, it's wintertime once again. That means snow and ice. Ashland Milling Company, 50-pound bags of winter ice melt for $9.75. And for those of you who want a product that won't hurt your concrete, try 50-pound bags of calcium chloride, $24.95. Let Ashland Milling Company keep you safe from slipping and sliding this winter. Ashland Milling Company, proud sponsors of Ashland Tomcat Ball. Ashland Milling Company, proud sponsors of Ashland Tomcat Basketball. Go Tomcat!
Looking for a secure savings account? Come to Desco Federal Credit Union and explore our latest offers. With great rates and top-of-the-line personnel, Desco insures your money for at least $1 million. Relax and put your money where you know it's safe and growing. Desco Federal Credit Union is located at 1211 Carter Avenue and other locations in Ohio and West Virginia. Stop in or go online. An account at Desco is just what you need. DescoFCU.org.
Here's another Kendrick Communications Community Chatter. The Home Energy Assistance Program is open for applications for 2025-26. HEAP can help eligible Ohioans manage their heating bills. You can find applications at your local community action agency or call 1-800-582-7277.
This Kendrick Communications Community Chatter brought to you by Buddy's All-American Barbecue, the home of killer wings, great barbecue, ice-cold beer in Huntington and Milton. Check out WVBBQ.com. The Tomcats play here, 97.9 The River.
We're back as we're getting ready for the introduction of the starting lineups here at Chapmanville High School, and a good crowd. A solid-sized gym. The bleachers are 10 on each side, and I had a table down at court side and just getting ready to do this today. I want to say hello to Chuck Rist, and thank you for the update, Chuck. Was actually checking in on the Kittens today, and as the Kittens won 65-52 over North Laurel. Didn't get to see it, but I know that they had a big comeback at some point. As thank you, Chuck, for reaching out, and always much appreciation to Chuck for all he does. I want to thank the staff here for their hospitality. I had multiple people come by and make sure I was getting a water, which was really nice. I want to thank George here for the water. I want to thank Bill Lusk, who does the radio for Chapmanville. We exchanged some back and forth notes before the game. And also want to shout out Benji Adkins. I know we're going to be saying his name a lot tonight, since Chapmanville has a player named Benji Adkins. And again, still thinking about that game that Asher Atkins had on commentary against Simon Kenton. Definitely a great future for him, great now and a great future for him in this. And also want to take the opportunity to say hello to Brandon McClave, who's tuning in. Big shout out to him. Big shout out to Mom, who's listening. And also, now as we're getting ready to introduce the starting lineup, first off, Justin Hughes for Ashland, the 6'4 sophomore, 7.8 points, 3-point rebounds per game. Number 3, Elijah Neal, 14 points, 3.9 boards, 8.3 assists, 3.4 steals per game for the junior. Number 5, Elijah Owens, a 6'3 freshman, 11.8 points, 3.7 rebounds, 2.4 steals per game. Caleb Clark, the 6'3 the senior, as they're turning the lights out here on us. Clark, the 6'3 senior, has just 19.6 points, 5.9 rebounds per game. And wow, I gotta say, this is cool. I'll get to that in a second, but that's a cool intro they have here. And last and certainly not least, Drew Smith, the 6' senior, 18.1 points, 4.5 boards a game, 40.9% from downtown. They just shined with their projectors like the lights went off, and they have a big growling tiger logo at midcourt with its paws on each side reaching out like it's going to grab you. And they sent the projectors highlighting, shining it only on that and lining it up. So it looked really cool to see that while everybody pulled out their lights and stuff in the timeout. But getting ready to, there's the lights, getting ready to introduce the starting lineups for Chapmanville, and we'll see who they come out with. It's been different for them, again, with the return of Keaton Terry. It's been a little bit different how they've come out. So they may start him, they may not, and it was going to be game time when that decision was made, as we're getting ready to get this one going. And one thing you'll note with this team, they have a lot of length and a lot of bulk. I think this is going to be a challenge because, we've got we're going to encounter some good big men this year, and this team will bring that, no doubt. Benji Adkins coming out first, the 6'6" senior, built like an NFL tight end, literally the starting one on Chapmanville football team, and he is 6'6". Jay Brock, he's listed at 6'4". He might be an inch or two taller for them. Of course, we saw him last. Eli Smith, the 6'4" senior, coming out, and Logan Hovanek, the 6-foot sophomore, who plays guard, and Dakota Dalton, the 6'3" sophomore. Dalton's like their shooter from downtown. And again, I was unable to get the stats that I wanted to get, but no doubt about it, though, stats or not, we know what we're coming into. This is going to be a tough environment. The Tomcats are wearing their maroon jerseys with white trim. Meanwhile, Chapmanville wearing their white jerseys with orange and gray trim. Ashland will be starting out, and they will be going right to left. Chapmanville will be going left to right. That's going to be Dalton tipping off against Caleb Clark at midcourt. And we're off. It's tipped back. Neal's going to recover the tip for the Tomcats. Man-to-man coming from Chapmanville. It's Neal against Hovanek. And he's going to pick up his dribble, give it to Clark on the top wing, and back over to Neal. Tight man-to-man from Chapmanville. Neal's going to attack, and they're going to call him for traveling. So that'll be the first. He spun around there, maybe lifted his pivot foot. That's going to be a turnover for the Tomcats. And they've reduced those in recent games. They've had 10 in 4 of their last 6 games, 8 in the other 2. They started out the year averaging around 12 a game. As Hovanek will bring it up, Ashland will start out in a man-to-man. Hovanek gives it over to Eli Smith, back up. Dalton wanted the 3, not there. He's going to attack, power it up, miss it. Neal there to get the rebound. No score right now here in the first. Neal back to Smith from almost 30 feet out. He missed it. Rebound by Eli Smith of Chapmanville. Dalton the other way. No score right now in the first. Ashland in a man-to-man. As Dalton picks up his dribble, turns it over, and Elijah Owens comes out of there with it. Owens attacking the basket, cut off. He's going to bring it out and give it to Smith on the far wing. Smith, the two Smiths going at it, Drew Smith and Eli Smith. Smith gives it over to Owens. They go inside to Neal, lost the handle, and gives it to Clark. He's going to go in against Brock, and they're going to say it's deflected off Brock. That's going to stay with the Tomcats. No score here, 6:56 to go in the first quarter, as that's going to be Neal inbounding. He finds Smith. He's open for 3, and it goes in and out. Tipped up, and Benji Adkins with the rebound. He's going to bring the ball up against Hughes. Adkins at the midcourt logo. Will dribble to the far side. Owens deflects it, but Adkins hanging on. Owens, as Adkins gives it back to Hovanek. And over to Dalton. Dalton looking, over to Smith, who's open. Eli Smith's 3, off Drew Smith with the rebound. No score, a minute and a half in. Smith to the bucket, puts the floater up and in. Drew Smith draws first blood. It's 2-0 Ashland. 6:22 to go in the first. Hovanek with the basketball against Drew Smith, and he's going to give it over to Eli Smith. And that's going to be Brock in the far corner against Owens. Brock back up to Hovanek. Hovanek will dribble it to the top of the key. Pick up his dribble and throw it to Brock. Owens not able to steal it. Brock gives it underneath, and Eli Smith will lay it in for his first bucket. Tied at 2 with 6:56 to go in the first. Chapmanville going full court. As Neal has it, we're tied at 2, and he'll bring it back in direct traffic. Neal over to Hughes. Hughes guarded by Adkins. Looking. Hughes will bring it up and give it to Clark, top of the key. Clark against Brock. Over to Smith, screened by Clark, and they'll switch Brock on Smith. He's going to give it out to Owens. 3 from the far wing. Got it! Elijah Owens. His first 3. It's 5-2 Ashland. 5:26 to go here in the first. As Eli Smith running the point, he'll give it over to Hovanek. Hovanek against Drew Smith, picks up his dribble, gives it to Dalton in the far corner. Dalton against Neal, and lobs it cross court out of bounds. Some miscommunication. That'll be the second turnover for Chapmanville, as now in checks Kai Martin, the 6'3 junior, and Keaton Terry, the 6'7 sophomore. Remember, Terry, the injured player for them, as Adkins and Brock will go out for Chapmanville. Neal inbounds. Full court sagging man-to-man coming from Chapmanville. Smith guarded by Martin. Brings it past the 10-second stripe over to Hughes on the near wing. And he's looking. 5-2 Ashland here early. It's deflected out. Hughes gets it, though. And Coach Bonner not happy with something, calling a timeout. And it's going to be a 30-second timeout, so we'll take it with them. We'll be right back here on 97.9 The River.
Uncle Paul and Missy's Country Kitchen, located at 230 16th Street in Ashland, is a great place to go for scrumptious home-style cooking and a friendly family atmosphere. Choose from a menu featuring yummy breakfast, tasty soups, salads, sandwiches, and entrees, and don't miss their mouth-watering daily specials. Uncle Paul and Missy's Country Kitchen's open Monday through Saturday from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m., closed on Sunday. Come on down and enjoy a delicious home-cooked meal at Uncle Paul and Missy's Country Kitchen, 230 16th Street in Ashland.
The Tomcats play here. 97.9 The River.
5-2 Ashland, 4:57 to go in the first. They go into Caleb Clark. He's blocked by Terry. Smith, though, on the outside wing, misses a three. Ball goes. It's deflected up, and it's going to go back to Chapmanville. So now Hovanek will run the point for the Tigers. As he brings it up against Smith, they give it to Eli Smith and over to Martin in the far corner. They go inside to Adkins, and he's swarmed immediately, and it's taken out of there by Terry. It's taken out of there by Caleb Clark. Crowd wanted a foul. Owens drives in. Reverse lay-in is good. Elijah Owens. Tough shot on the inside. Ashland up 5. Here with 4:20 to go in the first. It's 7-2. Hovanek against Smith. And thrown to Terry. It's deflected out by Owens. And that's huge for Ashland. Ashland with 15.8 deflections in their wins, 8 deflections in their 4 losses. And they got to get in there and disrupt. As Dalton to inbound. He's looking. He's going to lob it inside to Terry against Clark, and it's stripped out, but Terry hangs on. Turnaround jumper. Tough shot, misses it. Rebound by Hughes. Ashland is swarming Terry when he gets the ball. Smith on the wing, drives it inside. His floater, good. And it's 9-2 Ashland here with 3:59 to go in the first. Hovanek controlling it as he's going to be guarded by Smith. Hovanek feeds it to Martin on the near wing. Back to Hovanek. They go inside to Terry. He puts it up, misses it, but there to get his rebound. And he's doubled by Smith and fouled. I believe that was on Smith. We'll see Ashland just swarming him when he gets the basketball. Terry, a sophomore, and standing at 6'7". I can understand why, though. He had 18 points the other night, and he's good. As Terry coming out now momentarily, and Brock checking back in for Chapmanville. 9-2 Ashland, 3:41 to go in the first quarter. Dalton to inbound underneath. He's looking, finds Eli Smith, blocked by Hughes. Dalton gets the rebound, feeds it underneath, and Eli Smith missed a gimme. Just unfortunate for Chapmanville, and he fouls Hughes 94 feet away from the basket. That was a frustration foul. I understand, though. That's a tough play. Eli Smith picks up his first foul, the team's first. Each team with a foul apiece right now. As Benji Adkins checking back in for Chapmanville. Out will go Hovanek. 9-2 Ashland with 3:33 to go in the first quarter. Smith will inbound for the Tomcats as Neal has it, and he'll walk it up. Neal looking. And now a 2-3 zone coming from Chapmanville. Hughes will walk it back to the logo, give it to Smith, and Clark in the corner, drives it on Adkins, and Clark lowered his head, almost like a running back. Adkins was in position, but Clark was a little out of control on that and picks up his first foul. The second team, so the Tomcats will turn it over. Lead 9-2 with 3:13 to go in the first. Adkins now running the point for Chapmanville. He's going left to right as Martin on the near wing. looking to feed it into Atkins, not there. He throws it up to Dalton, who drives against Neal, spins, turns, goes up, and gets the bucket. His first, Dakota Dalton, and it's 9-4 Ashland. Smith for the Tomcats gets picked up by Brock and gives it over to Neal. Oddly, they left Clark completely uncovered on that wing on the last play. Hadn't shot a lot of threes, but he shoots over 50% in that department. Neal drives in, misses a shot, rebound by Atkins. As Eli Smith over to Martin on the far wing, gives it to Brock. He's open for three, and he got it. Jay Brock, his first three-pointer, and it's back to a 2-point lead for the Tomcats, 9-7, 2:24 to go in the first. Neal, as they're stretching that 2-3 zone out a little bit. Neal to Hughes on the near wing, dribbles it back to the logo, over to Smith, back up to Hughes, to Neal on the far wing. He drives, feeds it back. Hughes is open. His three's good. Justin Hughes with confidence, and he gets it to go. Second Tomcat three, 12-7 with 2:01 to go in the first. Atkins drives inside, and he's whistled for a charge. It wasn't nearly as hard as the Clark charge, but he was in. Clark was in excellent position on that, as now Benji Atkins will pick up his first foul. So now Neal will bring it up for the Tomcats, who lead 12-7, 1:53 to go in the first. Smith on the far side, lobs it back to Neal. Now a 1-3-1 half-court trap coming from Chapmanville. Owens drives it inside, feeds it underneath to Clark, who kicks it to the corner. Hughes' three, missed it. Rebound by Atkins. 12-7, a little bit rushed there. 12-7 Tomcats. Here's Atkins, brings it up against Neal. He's going to drive it inside against Clark, feed it underneath, and it's blocked by Owens. Clark comes out of there with it, and he's going one-on-none for the dunk. Caleb Clark. Great job defensively by the Tomcats. 14-7, 1:14 to go in the first. Martin, he'll bring it to the far near wing and give it over to Brock. And Dalton lost control, and an offensive foul called on Brock. Brock was looking to set a screen, and it looked like the two just had some miscommunication on that. But Brock is called for the offensive foul. That's going to be his first, the team third. 5 Chapmanville turnovers so far. Ashland up 14-7 with 1:08 to go. But again, I'm not going to hold my breath. They led 16-7 in their loss against George Washington. They led 7-0 against Pikeville in their loss. As Neal up top, over to Clark. And back up to Smith, over to Neal on the near side. Lob to Clark, and he loses a handle. Tried to go for the dunk there. And Atkins lobs it down court to Dalton. Terry back in the game for Chapmanville. It's thrown up top to Martin. Back in, Dalton. Martin turns it over. Ashland down court. Clark, and it's stripped out by Atkins. That was Benji Atkins got down there and just knocked it. That was a good read. I think Clark thought he was more wide open than he was. And that was a good hustle from Atkins, as now Ashland will inbound it. 39 seconds to go in the first, 14-7 lead. As Neal from under the bucket, looks, finds Clark wide open from the corner, missed the three, rebound by Brock. Tomcats have hit a couple threes, but not shooting at a good percentage right now. Atkins down to Terry on the near corner. He drives inside, fakes the shot, passes it to Martin underneath, and he's blocked by Owens. Martin goes up, this time powers it through, and it's 14-9 Ashland, 20 seconds to go in the first. Clark the other way against Atkins, puts it up and in. Caleb Clark, 16-9 Ashland, 12 seconds to go. Atkins bringing it up at 9. Atkins at 7. Atkins screamed from Terry at 6, at 5. Atkins on the elbow at 4, picks up his dribble. Back to Brock at 1, and it banks off and misses. And that'll do it for the first quarter. Ashland leading 16-9. We'll be back here on 97.9 The River.
Metro Community Federal Credit Union now brings you all the tech that big banks have, but still has that personal touch of a member-owned community credit union. Apple Pay? Got it. Digital wallet? Yep. Message pay by text? Online loan payments? Even chatting with a real person, not a bot. Open accounts, sign documents, and manage your money all online. It's the big bank tech you need from the local community-minded credit union you trust. Metro Community FCU. Visit metrocommunityfcu.com today.
Looking for a secure savings account? Come to Desco Federal Credit Union and explore our latest offers. With great rates and top-of-the-line personnel, Desco insures your money for at least $1 million. Relax and put your money where you know it's safe and growing. Desco Federal Credit Union is located at 1211 Carter Avenue and other locations in Ohio and West Virginia. Stop in or go online. An account at Desco is just what you need. DescoFCU.org.
Ashland Tomcat basketball action on 97.9 The River.
Ashland leading 16-9 to start the second quarter. The Tomcats are led by Elijah Owens with 5 points and a couple of blocks. They forced 5 turnovers, but I just don't see Chapmanville having an erratic quarter like that again. I think they're going to settle down here. On the court for Chapmanville, they got a big lineup. Adkins at 6'6", Terry at 6'7", Martin out there as it's deflected out of bounds and inbounded underneath the team's bucket, but Dalton missed a gimme inside. Rebound by Hughes. But it's Brock and Dalton out there, so they got their big lineup. Ashland with the original starting 5. Smith's 3 from way back, missed it. Rebound by Owens underneath, and he's blocked by Adkins, but a foul. But the thing about Adkins is when you look at him, you see kind of that NFL offensive tackle. That foul's going to go on Brock, his first, the team's first of the quarter. But you don't think Benji Adkins would move as quick as he does, like an offensive lineman. But that guy has unreal. First off, his first 2 steps are incredible. And second, his ability, how mobile he is getting down the court. He's a very good athlete. Owens will miss the first, and he'll hit the second. So Owens now with 6. Owens is a 65% free throw shooter on the season, and it's 17-9 Ashland. Dalton, and it's taken away by Owens. He's going to go down the court and try to stuff it and takes a nasty spill. Dalton fouls it on him. Nothing dirty, just trying to block the dunk. And Owens goes down hard but gets right back up. And he's going to get to go to the line for 2 more coming up. 6th turnover for Chapmanville, and Ashland able to get some runouts early as they lead 17-9 right now. And Owens is going to get 2 coming up from the free throw line. And his first shot, that one's going to rattle off. He's got 1 more coming up. Again, Owens 20 of 31 coming into tonight for 64.5%. And that foul was on Dalton. That's his first, the team's second. As River Lynch getting ready to check in for the Tomcats. Second shot from Owens, and it's going to go. He has 7 leading the way right now. Owens with a couple steals, a couple blocks. He is having a fantastic game on the defensive end. 18-9 Ashland with 7:18 to go here in the second. Adkins against Clark. Ashland staying in a man-to-man. He'll get it into Dalton. He powers it inside, feeds it underneath to Brock, and back out to Martin. He's going to drive on Smith. Martin forces a shot up and gets it to go. Martin using his height advantage there, and it's 18-11 Ashland. 6:58 to go here in the second. Smith to Hughes on the near wing. Back up top to Smith. 2-3 zone from Chapmanville. An extended 2-3. Neal on the far wing. Back to Smith at midcourt and over to Hughes, who brings it up to the logo. Back to Smith. To Lynch on the far corner as Hughes on the elbow. Out to Neal. Fakes the 3. Drives, kicks it out. Lynch is open for 3. He got it. River Lynch. His 17th three-pointer of the year, and the Tomcats have opened it up to 21-11. 6:29 to go in the second. Adkins brings it up against Clark and gives it back to Brock. Screen from Martin. Brock goes around to the far wing, and he drives it inside and misses the shot. Tipped up, back into the hands of Brock, and he's going to hit the shot. Jay Brock, his 5th point, 21-13 Ashland. Neal drives it inside against Atkins, spins, turns, goes up and scores. What a move from Elijah Neal. Surprisingly, his first bucket. It feels like he scored some. 23-13 Ashland. Here with 5:57 to go in the second. Atkins, high post against Clark. He's surrounded, back up top to Brock. He's going to drive Brock to the bucket, lays it up and in. Jay Brock with 7, and it's 23-15. And a timeout called, a 30-second by Chapmanville. We'll take it with them. We'll be back on 97.9 The River.
When the game is on the line, you need reliability and your trusted Toyota dealer. Drive home a winner with Toyota of Ashland. Visit them at 3503 Winchester Avenue, Ashland, Kentucky. Give them a call at 606-744-2727 or online at toyotaofashland.com. Drive home a winner all season long with your trusted Toyota dealer, Toyota of Ashland. Visit them at 3503 Winchester Avenue, Ashland, Kentucky. Give them a call at 606-744-2727 or visit them at toyotaofashland.com. They look forward to seeing you soon.
Ashland Tomcat basketball action on 97.9 The River.
23-15 Tomcats here with 5:47 to go in the second quarter as Ashland will have the basketball. 30-second timeout taken by Chapmanville. Neal now will bring it up, and he'll be met by Hovanek, who's back in the game. He'll lob it up to Clark at the high post. When Neal drives inside, feeds it to Lynch for the three. He got it. His second. And it's 26-15 Ashland, 5:28 to go here in the second. As Dalton, looking, feeds it in the post to Adkins. He goes against Clark, spins, turns, great move, and he scores. Benji Adkins, surprisingly, his first bucket, 26-17 Ashland. Neal against Hovanek, and they switch Martin on him, back in the man-to-man for Chapmanville. As Ashland up 9 here in the second. Neal will direct traffic. And Owens on the far wing, looking, and he finds Clark, top of the key. Clark, jab steps, drives, goes up, and partially blocked, I think. Adkins with the rebound. He's going to feed it down court to Eli Smith, or Smith is driving. His reverse lay-in is good. Eli Smith was his second bucket. 26-19, Ashland in the lead. 4:40 to go in the second quarter. Neal, as he's guarded by Hovanek, full court. And he gives it over to Clark. Martin deflects it and goes out of bounds. Martin really hounding Clark hard defensively. And again, Martin, he's listed about 6'3". I really think he's more about 6'5". And he has a lot of length. I mean, he's an inch or two taller than Clark, who's listed around that. As Neal finds Smith at midcourt. And back to Neal, who will set up the offense. 26-19 Ashland in the second. Neal drives on Martin, goes up and scores. How he got through all those guys, I don't know, but he picked up his fourth point, 28-19 Ashland. Hovanek over to Benji Adkins on the near wing. Back up top to Dalton, loses the handle and picks it up. Dalton guarded by Lynch. He's going to try the triple, and he misses it. And the rebound by Smith. Actually, it went over the backboard. So that'll be Ashland basketball, and that's who you want to keep from getting going as Dalton. The kid can flat out shoot the basketball, and he can shoot it in a hurry. Neal, under 4 to go here in the second, 28-19 Ashland. Clark setting the screen. Neal now guarded by Martin, and they switch Smith on him. Neal drives inside, kicks it out. Drew Smith drives against Martin, puts the floater up on Adkins, misses. Rebound by Dalton. Go over to Adkins. He's bringing it up. Adkins on the near wing feeds it inside to Smith. Eli Smith, his turnaround off. And the rebound goes to Neal. Ashland fortunate they're missing some easy ones at times. Smith three. Got it! Drew Smith. His first three, and it's 31-19 Ashland. Ashland with 5 threes right now as a team. Dalton over to Hovanek. Up top against the Ashland man-to-man, and to Eli Smith in the post. Back out to Dalton on the far wing, and he'll take a tough mid-range shot and connect. Dakota Dalton, his second bucket. It's 31-21 Ashland. Drew Smith the other way, and he'll feed it over to Clark in the near corner, and up top to Neal. Neal against Hovanek. Clark coming up to set a screen. Neal drives, and Adkins cuts him off. Tries to feed it to Clark and deflected out of bounds by Adkins. Adkins just put his hands up there, and Neal threw it off of him. Hughes now checking back in. Out goes River Lynch, who hit 2 threes in the first half. And Neal will inbound from under the bucket. 31-21 Ashland, 2:40 to go in the second. He finds Smith on the near wing. Smith over to Clark on the near corner. He drives inside. Tough shot against Adkins. Missed rebound by Dalton. Down court to Terry, and he's going to missed a gimme. Rebound by Drew Smith. Over to Neal. He's open for 3. And it's off. Rebound underneath and put back by Owens. Are you kidding me? Elijah Owens got it midair and stuffed it. 33-21 Ashland in the lead. Dalton to Hovanek on the near wing. Owens has 9 to Martin. on the near corner, right in front of the Ashland bench. And Owens called for a foul. That's Owens' first and the team's first. Jalen Strader coming in right now. Out will go Elijah Neal for a breather. 33-21 Ashland. 2 minutes to go in the second quarter. As Dalton will inbound from in front of the Ashland bench, and he finds Hovanek behind the half-court line, and he'll get the offense set up. As he goes around the screen from Adkins, drives inside, mid-range jump shot, off. Rebound by Owens, but taken away. Adkins takes it. Owens blocks it. Hughes gets the rebound. Strader to Smith. He's open for three, and it's off. Rebounded underneath and thrown into Terry. Over to Adkins, who will bring it up and be met by Justin Hughes. A minute and a half to go as Terry. They tried to lob it to him underneath, and that's just getting the chemistry down. He missed off the backboard. Hughes the other way. No one picks him up, and he lays it in for his fifth point. 35-21 Ashland. 1:20 to go here in the second. Hovanek against Strader. Screen set. Hovanek will go around and give it to Dalton. His triple is in and out. Rebound by Clark. He'll give it over to Owens. Here Owens feeds it over to Smith, and then near wing he drives and reverse lay and miss, and no call. That'll go out, and it'll be Chapmanville basketball. 58.2 seconds to go. Neal comes in. Owens comes out for Ashland. Brock comes in, and Terry goes out for Chapmanville as Martin will inbound. Here, Chapmanville, a chance may or may not hold it for the last shot as Hovanek will bring it up and be met by Jalen Strader. 35-21 Ashland here in the second. As Dalton goes around the Martin screen, inside to an open Martin. Strader deflects it out, and hey, that's going to be a foul called on him. Ashland, Coach Bonner arguing with the official. The official is saying that the players questioned the call, and essentially, I don't know about that. I mean, I didn't have a good angle, but gotta be a little tough. I mean, the Ashland players just thought it was, that was all ball. He asked, Coach Bonner said, are they cursing or are they saying? And the official said, he said, no, they're not cursing. But Martin will miss the first and hit the second, and it's 35-22 Ashland here in the second. As Smith goes down, and a foul called against Martin. That was a makeup call. 35-22. So that'll be Ashland in the lead right now, and they'll have the ball from the far sideline. Neal to inbound. 37.6 seconds to go in the first half. Up to Hughes, and he pitches it to Clark, who drives, puts it up and in, and he's called for an offensive foul. Same guy. 34.9 seconds to go here in the half, and Clark will go to the bench with his first foul. Our second foul. Giovanni had two. It showed one on the board. Now it shows two. And so it's 3 fouls each way, so each team with a foul to give. Possession arrows with the Tomcats right now. As Hovanek will handle it, and he'll be met by Strader at half court. He gives it back to Dalton. Double screen coming for Dalton. He picks up his dribble and gives it to Atkins on the near wing. Atkins looking against Hughes. He's going to drive it in, muscle it through, go up, and miss the shot. Rebound by Hughes with 14 to go. Ashland up 13. Neal, a chance for the last shot. Neal at 9, at 8, at 7. Neal at 6, at 5. Goes around the Smith screen at 4, at 3, at 2. Neal steps back at 1 and misses a 3 at the buzzer. And that'll do it for the first half. It's 35-22. Ashland here at halftime. That will be back here shortly on 97.9 The River.
Catch all the action of Ashland Tomcats basketball all season long on your radio home for the Tomcats 97.9 The River. The River has you covered for each and every Tomcats basketball game, both home and away, as the Tomcats look to bring home another championship. Download the app today or listen online at 979theriver.com. Ashland Tomcats basketball on 97.9 The River is sponsored by Kentucky Farmers Bank, McLeod's Body Shop, and Community Trust Bank. Ashland Tomcats basketball from Kindred Communications.
Here's another Kindred Communications community chatter. You have a voice when it comes to your long-term care. An ombudsman advocates on your behalf for issues related to health, safety, welfare, and residents' rights wherever you receive long-term care services. Contact your local ombudsman at the Area Agency on Aging District 7 for confidential assistance at 800-582-7277.
This Kindred Communications community chatter brought to you by Papa John's Gallipolis, serving Gallipolis and Point Pleasant on 740-578-3060.
Our Kindred Communications family of stations reminds you of the need for blood donations to the Red Cross. Blood is always needed. It may save your life or the life of a loved one. This reminder is brought to you in part by
Classic Liquors, your adult beverage headquarters in Huntington, Canova. Classic Liquor is simply the best. Smokin' Jay's Rib and Brew House, the Tri-State Best Barbecue and Ribeye, U.S. Route 60, Ashland, Kentucky. Smokin' Jay's, come fire it up. And Arrowhead Land Company's Team Wit. Call 937-545-7764. Online at arrowheadlandcompany.com.
Life. What is life? Life is a collection of moments. Moments that stay with you a lifetime. Make those memories and moments happen at CF Rushline Jewelers with our complete line of Gabriel & Company diamond rings, engagement rings, and wedding bands. CF Rushline Jewelers is your place to make those life moments happen. Visit CF Rushline Jewelers at 947 3rd Avenue in Huntington, across from Pullman Square, or visit online at cfrjewelers.com.
The Tomcats play here. 97.9 The River.
And we're back. It's 35-22 Ashland here to start the we're about 8 minutes away from starting the second half. But if you're just tuning in, the Tomcats would open up a 9-2 lead early to start it out. And a big part of that has been their defense. I mean, they forced some turnovers in there. First off, I thought they did a really good job doing it. They're running that tight man-to-man. And the first quarter, Chapmanville was very lax with it in a way, almost erratic. And again, I emphasize, they're getting Keaton Terry back. They're still getting him integrated into the offense and everything. So, I mean, there were some timing, some things like that went on in the first quarter that they had. They turned it over 5 times. Ashland would lead 16-9 at the end of the one. The Tomcats are shooting the ball pretty well so far. Hughes has a 3, Owens has a 3, Smith has a 3, Lynch came off the bench and hit 2 threes. So they're hitting the 3 ball from downtown, and you'd like to see this team get about 10 per game. They average close to 8 right now. Tomcats, neither team's really been to the free throw line. I have 1 of 2 for Chapmanville, and I have for Ashland, I have them at 2 of 4 on that front. For Chapmanville, it's been pretty balanced of scoring. Brock has 7, including a lone three-pointer. Martin has 5. Dalton has 4. They only 1 3-point attempt for him, and that's what you want to do. That kid can get loose quick, so you want to guard him tight. Eli Smith has 2, and Benji Atkins so far is just a lone bucket. But again, I mean, Chapmanville, they've missed some chip shots. I mean, that's the thing so far, and things can always change, but Ashland struggled with finishing this year at times, and so far they've finished pretty decent tonight. Chapmanville, on the other hand, has missed some chip shots that we've been fortunate to get. So we'll see what happens here in the second half. We'll take our break coming up here and come back here on 97.9 The River.
Metro Community Federal Credit Union now brings you all the tech that big banks have, but still has that personal touch of a member-owned community credit union. Apple Pay? Got it. Digital wallet? Yep. Message pay by text, online loan payments, even chatting with a real person, not a bot. Open accounts, sign documents, and manage your money all online. It's the big bank tech you need from the local community-minded credit union you trust. Metro Community FCU. Visit metrocommunityfcu.com today.
Tired of seeing those dings, dents, and scratches on your car? Then you need to see McLeod's Body Shop, your trusted partner for all things auto repair and restoration for 45 years. At McLeod's Body Shop, they're not just in the business of fixing cars, they're in the business of turning heads. Their team of skilled technicians are dedicated to bringing your vehicle back to its prime, no matter the make or model. From minor touch-ups to major overhauls, McLeod's Body Shop has you covered. McLeod's Body Shop says, go Tomcats.
Kelly Galloway Smith Goolsby has been providing accounting, tax, and attest services for the tri-state community and across the United States. Since 1951, individuals, medical practices, attorneys, corporations, Main Street businesses, local schools, and governments have relied on us for expert advice, tax preparation, and attest services. With offices in Ashland and Cincinnati, Kelly Galloway Smith Goolsby are here for your accounting and tax needs. For over 70 years, Kelly Galloway Smith Goolsby has been there for businesses in our community. They're here for yours too. Call them and let Kelly Galloway Smith Goolsby provide for the future of your business.
Hey, Tomcat fans, it's wintertime once again. That means snow and ice. Ashland Milling Company, 50-pound bags of winter ice melt for $9.75. And for those of you who want a product that won't hurt your concrete, try 50-pound bags of calcium chloride, $24.95. Let Ashland Milling Company keep you safe from slipping and sliding this winter. Ashland Milling Company, proud sponsors of Ashland Tomcat Ball. Ashland Milling Company, proud sponsors of Ashland Tomcat Basketball. Go Tomcats!
2025 has been a challenging year. Our customers have dealt with a severe inflation in the food industry, and we understand that, and we have reacted to that with the onset of our new Food Club label and our Craven Flavor labels. You have many opportunities of where to spend your food dollar, and we just consider it an absolute privilege when you choose to spend it with us. To all the members of the Food Fair family, customers, employees, we would like to wish you a Merry Christmas and a prosperous and Happy New Year.
Looking for fast, easy, and secure electronic banking? Community Trust Bank has a wide variety of banking services to meet your needs, including internet banking, bill pay, and mobile banking. We have even more great services like Apple Pay and Google Pay. Make payments directly from your smartphone. And Zelle, a fast, easy, secure way to send and receive money from your smartphone. Visit us on the internet at ctbi.com or stop by and see us at one of our 79 branch offices.
Community Trust Bank. Building communities built on trust. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Our Kendrick Communications family of stations reminds you of the need for blood donations to the Red Cross. Blood is always needed. It may save your life or the life of a loved one. This reminder is brought to you in part by
Angel Tax and Bookkeeping, personal and business tax returns, bookkeeping, payroll, and trucking authority. 127 State Street, Proctorville. Call 740-886-6500. Ricer Equipment, your local Kubota dealer in Jackson and Lucasville. Visit ricerequipment.com or find us on Facebook. NWV Medicine, Jackson General Hospital, leading healthcare across Jackson and Mason County.
Kindred Communications is committed to equal employment opportunities. We are actively seeking organizations that assist in connecting job seekers with employers. If your organization is interested in collaborating with us, please reach out. Visit kindredcom.net or call 304-523-8401 for more information. Kindred Communications Incorporated. Equal opportunity is our priority.
Here's another Kendrick Communications community chatter. True Alta is an online portal designed just for family caregivers, providing caregiver information, videos, tip sheets, music therapy, webinars, and much more 24/7. Sign up today for this free and beneficial resource for caregivers by going to aaa7.truealta.com.
This Kendrick Communications community chatter brought to you by GoMart. Go for good times. Go for GoMart. Head to the App Store and get the app for GoMart. Hey, it's Big John. Are you hungry for a taste of home? Well, come on down to Uncle Paul and Missy's Country Kitchen, located 230 16th Street in Ashland. They serve old-fashioned home-cooked meals in a true family atmosphere. From hearty breakfast to daily specials, there's always something fresh and on the table. Bring the whole family and let them do the cooking. Proud supporters of the Ashland Tomcats, Uncle Paul and Missy's is cooking up that hot Tomcat spirit. Uncle Paul and Missy's Country Kitchen, where good food and good company come together. The Tomcats play here. 97.9 The River.
35-22, getting ready to start the second half. Want to say hello to some friends tuning in. Want to say hello to Chris Pullum and Ryan Parker. Want to give them a big shout out. And again, the Ashland Kittens, a great comeback win, 65-52 over North Laurel today. The Kittens missing Ariana Goley, who's out to illness, and we hope she has a speedy recovery, and a great job by them. And Coach Stacy Davis, what a run they're on this year. I mean, North Laurel, who eliminated them in the state tournament last year. So a huge, huge comeback win for the Kittens. And this second half, again, it's been Ashland so far. I sure hope the Elijah Owens we have tonight is going to be the Elijah Owens we see for the rest of the season. Owens, who, wow, on the defensive end, and that put-back dunk. Oh, I mean, he has 9 so far leading the Tomcats, and it's just been big play after big play. Ashland coming out, and it's going to be the original starters. It's going to be Neal, Smith, Clark, Hughes, and Owens for Chapmanville. It's going to be Hovanek, Brock, Adkins, Eli Smith, and Dalton, their original starters. Smith will inbound from the far side at half court. Tomcats going left to right on your dial to start the second half. Neal over to Hughes on the near wing. Hughes looking, brings it back and gives it to Smith, and over to Owens' far wing. Owens against Dalton, man-to-man from Chapmanville, lobbed up and turned over. Tomcats with a turnover to start this half as it's taken inside, reverse laying from Brock, misses. Smith there to get it, blocked again by Owens underneath. Neal on the run, back to Smith, and tough catch, and he gives it back out to Neal. Tomcats up 35-22 here in the second. Smith against Hovanek. Drives it inside. Smith spins, turns, lobs it out to Hughes. And he'll motion for Neal and give it back to him. Neal against Brock. Neal drives and gives it to Smith. He's open for 3 from the wing, and he got it. Drew Smith with 10, 2 threes tonight. Ashland up 38-22 here with 7 minutes to go in the third. Hovanek against Smith. He'll feed it inside to Atkins, who's wide open underneath, and I think I guess it was stripped out from my angle. He was wide open underneath, but it looks like Clark stripped it out of there. It's going to stay with Chapmanville, who inbounds it from under the bucket. Dalton underneath, and Eli Smith there to catch it and score for his 6th point. Ashland down court. Smith catches, drives on Atkins, goes up, misses the shot. Clark there to tip it in. Clark with 6. It's 40-24 Ashland. Dalton on the run against Smith. Drives it inside. Screen from Adkins. Jump mid-range shot from Dalton is off. And Neal against Adkins. It's going to be off of Neal. Although I admire the fight against the big man. And now Dalton's going to inbound from underneath. Or is it going to be Dalton? No, it's going to be Hovanek. 40-24 Ashland. 6:28 to go here in the third. Hovanek. And he's looking, finds Brock underneath, and Owens might have gotten a piece of that. Neal on the rebound. Down court to Clark running. He's going to lay it up and get fouled by Adkins. Hard foul. Trying to get the ball and try to strip it out against Clark, and that's going to send Clark to the free throw line, unintentional, of course, and that's going to go against Adkins, his 2nd, and Clark will go to the line for 2 shots. Caleb Clark on the season, 47-62, leading the teams in makes and attempts from the free throw line, 75.8%. He's going to hit the first and get one more coming up as Elijah Owens will switch over. Coach Bonner giving some instructions to his team. Clark now for his 2nd free throw, 41-24 Ashland, and that one's going to go in. 42-24 Ashland, 6:20 to go here in the third. Dalton lobs it over. Ashland pressing now as Dalton throws it down, and it's taken away by Clark. He's going to drive. Chapmanville back. Clark to Neal on the corner. Lost the handle, but gives it out to Owens. He's going to drive in on Atkins. Feed it underneath to Clark. Who's wide open for the lay-in. It's 44-24. Ashland's blown this one open here in the third. Atkins over to, as Hovanek has it, he gives it back to the cutting Dalton, and Clark didn't block but alter that shot. Dalton with the rebound, throws it up, and a foul called against Neal. Van thought his hands were up. I might agree on that, but Dalton's going to get to go to the free throw line for Chapmanville. I mean, again, we got a lot of basketball, and folks, I've seen this Chapmanville team play. They can get going in a hurry, as Dalton will hit the first. He's got one more coming up. Dalton with 5 now. It's 44-25 Ashland, and one more free throw coming for Chapmanville. As Martin checking in, as does Terry for Chapmanville. So going with more length now, Adkins and Eli or no, Eli Smith's still out there. Atkins and Brock went out. So now Neal has it, and they're going in a full court man-to-man. It's 44-26 Ashland here in the third. Neal against Hovanek. He's going to drive and spin, turn, draw people off their feet, feed it under to Hughes, who kicks it out to Clark. His three's off. Terry underneath to get the rebound. He's going to give it to Hovanek. On the run, 44-26 Ashland here in the third. Hovanek, and it's deflected out of bounds by Caleb Clark. Chapmanville will inbound from the far wing, from the far sideline. It's 44-26 Ashland, 5:21 to go here in the third quarter. Dalton inbounds, looking, and he finds Terry on the far side. Back over to Dalton, who's guarded by Neal. Terry sets a screen. Dalton drives, takes the mid-range shot, and hits. Dalton with 8 now. He's starting to get a little bit of a rhythm. Neal down court to Hughes on the run against Dalton. Puts it up, misses it. Rebound snagged down by Eli Smith. Dalton on the run. He takes the 3 and misses it. Terry underneath gets the rebound, goes up, and scores. 6-0 run by Chapmanville. 44-30 Ashland. Here with 4:49 to go in the third. Clark against Keaton Terry. Gives it over to Neal. Neal guarded by Hovanek, and he'll lob it over to Smith on the far side. Smith, top of the key, drives it in, goes up, and scores. Smith with 12. It's 46-30. Ashland leading with 4:28 to go in the third. Dalton, Ashland picking up full court. He gives it to Terry and to Martin. He'll drive inside, give it to the cutting Terry, who scores. It's turning into a track meet, 46-32 Ashland, here with 4:15 to go in the third. Neal against Hovanek. He'll give it back to Owens. Owens steps back, and he's a dribble alive, and he'll drive, and now he's cut off, and he'll throw it, and it's taken away by Dalton. Dalton on the drive, goes inside, shoots, and banks it in that quick. Dalton has 10, and it's back to an 8-point lead. A 10-2 run by Chapmanville. 46-34 Ashland, 3:53 to go in the third. A 30-second timeout call by Ashland. We'll be back here on 97.9 The River.
Drive home a winner all season long with your trusted Toyota dealer, Toyota of Ashland. Visit them at 3503 Winchester Avenue, Ashland, Kentucky. Give them a call at 606-744-2727 or visit them at toyotaofashland.com. They look forward to seeing you soon.
Giovanni's Pizza. Fresh, hot, and tasty. Have it delivered right to your door. Giovanni's, the Italian place to be.
Ashland Tomcat basketball action on 97.9 The River.
46-34 Ashland with 3:53 to go in the third. Chapmanville getting some momentum, though, as they are on a 10-2 run right now. Clark will inbound. Chapmanville full court man-to-man. Neal has it, and he's guarded by Brock, who's checked back into the game. As Neal, Ashland by 12 here in the third. Lobs it over to Smith, to Hughes on the near corner. And he'll dribble it back up top and give it to Smith. Smith to Neal. Neal against Brock. As Clark coming up to set a screen. Neal drives it inside. They switch Terry on him. Feeds the cutting Clark, who lays it up and in. Just beat Brock by a quarter step maybe on that cut. And Clark gets his 12th point. 48-34 Ashland. Dalton against Smith. Drives it and feeds it over to Eli Smith on the near wing. Up top to Martin, top of the key. It's deflected out by Owens. He takes it away. Owens dunks it on the other end. He came to play big time. Owens, who averages 2.4 steals per game, getting it done on both ends. 8 turnovers for Chapmanville. Terry in the post against Clark. Goes up, misses a shot. Rebound by Clark. Good board against the taller Martin. Neal against Brock. Kicks it out to the corner to Owens. He gets the 3 to fall. Oh, so excited for Elijah Owens, who picks up this 14th point. Down court, it's up, Ashland up 19, and Eli Smith drives to stall the momentum. He has 8. Drew Smith the other way, hits the 3, and it's back up to 20. 56-36. A 10-2 run by Ashland now. Eli Smith against Hughes. That was up, blocked by Owens, but a foul. It may have been Hughes that got him there with the body. We'll see who it's, and that is going to be Hughes. I think the block was clean. I think Hughes got him with the body. with 2:19 to go here in the third. It's 56-36 Ashland. This pace playing heavily into Ashland's favor right now, as Ashland has 7 3-pointers at the moment, and that's going to send Eli Smith to the line for 2. He's a 6'4 senior, big guard, strong guard. That's the thing. I mean, this Chapmanville team, they're big. They're very strong. All of their guards are. As checking in now, in comes Hovanek and Adkins on the court for Chapmanville. It's Hovanek, Adkins, Eli Smith at the free throw line, Martin, and Brock. As Smith gets another one, he's going to hit that. Chapmanville 5 of 6 for 83% at the free throw line. And in checks Jacob Vance, the 5'11 sophomore. Chapmanville, who plays deep into their bench, as now they're picking up full court man-to-man. Smith bringing it up against Vance. Ashland up by 18, 2:12 to go here in the third. Smith, Vance guarding him tight, gives it over to Clark on the near wing. That's why they brought him in. Smith against Vance. Jab steps and gives it to Neal. Excuse me. River Lynch in the game for Ashland, as Owens is out momentarily, but Smith now against Vance. Tries to drive it in. Kicks it out to Lynch. Over to Hughes. Hughes drives, kicks it out to Clark on the near wing. And Clark drives in, gets through, and gets the lay-in. Clark with 14. He slithered his way through 2 defenders, and Ashland back up 20 here with 1:30 to go in the third. Hovanek goes to the near wing, feeds it inside. That's Adkins. He's doubled. Gets it to Hovanek and over to Brock. He drives, spins, turns, and he's blocked by Hughes. It's a block party for the Tomcats. Neal on the run. Smith's wide open for 3, and he misses it. Rebound by Brock. And he's going to push tempo. Brock drives it inside, steps back, takes the floater, and he's going to get that to hit every part of the rim and roll in. Jay Brock with 9, 58-40 Ashland. Brock second on his team behind Dalton and Smith, who have 10 apiece. As it's taken in, put up, and Ashland's going to get a go to the line for one more. As Neal gets the bucket, as that foul goes on, and that foul goes on Adkins, his third. So Neal's going to get a go to the line for one more. Or no, I'm sorry, they're going to call that one on Hovanek, so the team's second. Yeah, I thought talking to Lindsay Neal, they've got Hovanek on the board, but they did call it on Adkins as Neal misses the free throw. 60-40 Ashland here at 46 seconds to go in the third. Ashland in a 1-2-2 full court trap as Brock has it at midcourt. They get it past, and he gives it over to Hovanek. And over to Terry on the far corner. Terry's going to drive, post up Hughes, get it out to Vance against Adkins. He's going to drive, put the floater up, miss it. Terry there to get the rebound, loses the handle, hangs on to it. Lynch strips it out, but fouls him in the process, and that's going to send Terry to the free throw line. So Lynch, that's going to be his first foul, the team third. It's 26.8 to go here in the third. Terry's going to the line for 2 shots. Ashland with 1 foul to give. Chapmanville with 2 as Terry puts up and hits his 5th point. Eli Smith checking in for Chapmanville. Out will go Martin. Terry will get 1 more coming up. 60-41 Ashland. And his second one's nothing but net. He has 6. 60-42 Ashland. The possession error also with Chapmanville right now. Chapmanville doubling up top. Neal behind the back to Hughes. Down to Smith and back up to Neal at midcourt. 15 seconds to go in the third. Neal drives through and he's doubled. Neal slits through, lobs it over to Owens, who's open for 3. Missed it. Rebound by Terry. And 4 seconds. Terry down court to Smith, who's blocked by Owens. Owens did it again right at the end of the quarter. And he has 4 or 5 blocks tonight, does Elijah Owens, and Ashland concludes the third quarter with a 60-42 lead. Owens with a monster defensive game out there. It looked like Eli Smith was loose, and we're going to take a break and come back here on 97.9 The River.
At Members Choice Credit Union, we believe your money should give you choices. That's why we've created My Choice accounts. Checking, cashback, and savings designed to match the way you live. Whether you're focused on building savings, managing your day-to-day spending, or planning ahead for the future, My Choice gives you the flexibility to do it your way. Take control and make choices that fits you best. Members Choice Credit Union, your money, your future, your choice. Federally insured by the NCUA, Equal Housing Lender.
2025 has been a challenging year. Our customers have dealt with a severe inflation in the food industry, and we understand that, and we have reacted to that with the onset of our new Food Club label and our Craven Flavor labels. You have many opportunities of where to spend your food dollar, and we just consider it an absolute privilege when you choose to spend it with us. To all the members of the Food Fair family, customers, employees, we would like to wish you a Merry Christmas and a prosperous and Happy New Year.
Ashland Tomcat basketball action on 97.9 The River.
60-42 Ashland to start the fourth. It's going to be Smith, Neal, Clark, Owens, and Hughes out there for the Tomcats, and it's turned over by Chapmanville to start. Who else? Elijah Owens. He takes it in on Martin, and they cut him off. He's going to bring it back out, drive to the bucket, and give it to Hughes. Clark drives it inside, loses a handle, and Chapmanville comes up with it. Terry drives it in, puts the jumper up, and good. 60-44 Ashland. For Chapmanville, it's Hovanek, Dalton, Martin, Keaton, Terry, and Eli Smith on the court as Neal against Hovanek. Both teams employing a man-to-man here to start the fourth, as Neal will bring it back, and the 6'7" Terry will pick him up. Neal directing traffic. Terry stepping in on him as Neal drives, and they switch Hovanek on him, gives it back up top to Smith. 60-44 Ashland here in the early part of the fourth. Neal drives it back, hard to drive, and instead brought it back up top. Neal against Terry, again directing traffic. Tomcats in no rush right now, as Neal will bring it and give it to Smith. Thought about the three against Terry, instead steps back and gives it to Neal on the far side. Neal will back it up, and they'll come up and double him. Neal drives in. Behind the back pass underneath to Clark, and he's blocked by Martin, but it's batted back to Neal. He's going to go in, spin, turn, and feed it underneath to Clark. What a play for the lay-in. The first pass was intended for Hughes, and they collide with each other. The second pass, Neal was cut off. Martin was right there, and he goes right around Martin from the side to find Clark underneath for the lay-in. 62-44 Ashland, and a foul called on Neal. 6:12 to go here in the fourth, and that's going to go on. That's going to go on Neal. That's going to be his second. So now on the far sideline, Dalton will inbound. He finds, and it's deflected by Hughes and nearly taken away. I'm telling you, Hughes and Owens, this may be their best defensive performance of the year. I mean, they have been fantastic on that front. As now in the backcourt from the far sideline, Dalton will inbound, and he finds Hovanek, who's guarded by Drew Smith. 62-44 Ashland here in the fourth. Hovanek with it. He gives it over to Dalton. Dalton guarded by Neal, and it's stripped out. 10th turnover for Chapmanville. And Ashland, and a foul called on Martin. That's going to be his second personal, the team's first. Owens will inbound now from right in front of the Chapmanville bench and into Neal. Man-to-man still from Chapmanville as Neal has it, guarded by Hovanek. And he'll give it over to Hughes, and Hughes shuffled his feet, turnover Tomcats. I have them at 6 so far to make sure of that, but I know they had a couple charges in the first. I think they haven't turned it over a lot tonight. And, of course, have employed their style of basketball with the run-outs and on that end. So now Hovanek will control it for Chapmanville. 62-44 Tomcats here in the fourth. Eli Smith, the Martin in the corner, inside to Terry against Clark. Goes up, a tough shot. He puts it up and in. He has 10. 62-46 Ashland, 5:35 to go in the fourth. Owens splits the pressure and brings it out to the near wing. Gives it up top to Neal. Neal will drive it inside. Neal to the bucket. Puts the shot up and in. Elijah Neal with his 6-point. 64-46 Ashland here in the fourth. 5:18 to go. Hovanek against Smith. will bring it out and give it over to Eli Smith. Loses the handle but picks it up. Hughes deflects it, and Smith recovers. As Eli Smith loses the handle again but picks it up, and that's going to go out off Hughes. So stay with Chapmanville, but Hughes making the possession very uncomfortable, as that'll be inbounded from underneath by Dalton. As Dalton looking, lobs it into Terry underneath, and he spins around, misses, airballs the jump hook. Rebound by Drew Smith. Over to Owens and down court. Neal on the run, goes inside and lays it in. Neal with 8. 66-46 Ashland. Dalton the other way. Dalton drives on Neal, turns around, takes the jumper, and it goes off the back iron. Rebound by Owens. And he's going to push. Owens down court to Smith. His 3. Got it! Smith was his 4th 3 of the game. And he now has 18. 69-46 Ashland at their largest lead. Dalton forces one from way back at airballs. Rebound by Smith. Down court to Neal. Wide open. He lays it up and in. His 10th point. Neal running the court. 71-46 Ashland here with 4:11 to go here in the 4th. As Dalton bringing it up. Ashland fans on their feet, loving the team's performance tonight. As Hovanek into Eli Smith. He's doubled. Back out to Hovanek. He's going to attack and give it to Dalton. Dalton drives in, and they're going to call Owens for the foul. That's going to be his second, the team's second. With 3:55 to go in the 4th at 71-46 Ashland. As Jalen Strader checking in for the Tomcats now. Out will go Owens, maybe for the last time, to a huge ovation from the Ashland crowd. Much deserved. Owens with 14 on the night. It's thrown in and taken away by Drew Smith. He goes down court. Clark with the stuff. Caleb Clark with his second dunk tonight. He has 18, 73-46 Ashland on a 9-0 run right now. The Tomcats here in the 4th. Martin, mid-range shot is good. Kyle Martin, nice form, and it's 73-48 Ashland now. 3:30 to go in the 4th. Smith drives on Hovanek, steps back, takes the jumper, in and out, rebound by Martin. Martin the other way with a trail of steam, gets into the lane, and hit everywhere on the rim and rolled off. I will say Chapmanville has not had very kind rims tonight. The rims have not been kind to them because they have missed some chip shots on the inside. As now Drew Smith going out probably for the final time. He has, actually I have him, 18. And River Lynch checking in. So it's Lynch, Strader, Hughes, Neal, and Clark on the court. 1-2-2 full court trap from Chapmanville. Hughes inside to Clark, and he lays it in for his 20th point. 75-48 Ashland here with 3 minutes to go in the 4th. Eli Smith. And it's taken inside, miss. Rebound by Jalen Strader. Tie-up, actually. Possession arrow is with Chapmanville. Caleb Cromwell coming into the game. Out will go Clark, who finishes with 20. And now Chapmanville subbing as well. End of the game comes Kason Harless, a 5'7" freshman, and David Browning, the 6'3" sophomore. They go inside. Eli Smith, his turnaround jump hook, good. He has 12. 75-50 Ashland, 2:44 to go in the 4th. Strader over to Neal. Neal fouls it in on Browning, cut off, tries to squeeze through there, and Neal had to carry it over like a running back there, and a turnover, but now Hughes coming out of the game. What a performance Hughes had. Hughes had 5 points, but his defensive impact, he got it done. 75-50 Ashland right now here in the 4th. Hovanek brings it up and gives it to Browning on the far wing. He's guarded by Conway. Browning looking, and finds Hovanek. They go inside to Martin. He's going to go up, and Neal blocked him but also fouled him in the process, and that's going to send Martin to the free throw line tonight. I have for... Martin I have at 7. He's going to go to the free throw line. Ashland on the free throw line, 4 of 7 on that front. Not a lot of Didn't get there a lot tonight. Martin's going to have 2 coming up. He hits the first. As checking in for the Tomcats now is Dawson Morris, the 5'8" sophomore. He's also a handy player on the soccer field as Martin hits the second. Neal coming out. Also Ryan Brogdon. So on the court for Ashland now, it's as Ryan Brogdon, the 5'9" sophomore coming in. It's Morris, Brogdon, Strader, Conway, and Lynch on the court right now for the Tomcats. Morris over to Strader against Hovanek in the press. And Kyler Blair, the 5'9" freshman, has checked in for Chapmanville. Strader kicks it to the corner. Lynch is open and misses the 3. Conway with a great rebound underneath over 2 players. He goes, kicks it back out, but it's taken away by Hovanek. And he's going to drive against Strader. 75-52 Ashland here in the 4th. Late in the 4th. As open for 3 is Chapmanville. It's off. Rebound goes back to Blair. He missed the 3. And it's thrown underneath. Dawson Morris deflects it, but Browning goes back into his hands, but he misses the shot. Morris now on the run for the Tomcats. He's going to drive and bring it back out to the far wing. And he'll give it up top to Strader. And to the far corner to Morris. 1 of the 3, but not there. Strader gives it inside. Back out to Morris. His 3. He got it. Dawson Morris with the 3. And that is his 2nd of the season. As more substitutions now for Chapmanville. In comes Brock Carter, the 6'3" sophomore. And Jacob Gollihue, the 5'7" sophomore. 78-52 Ashland here in the 4th quarter. As Gollihue will walk it up. He'll give it over to Carter. And high post to Carlos. And back up top they go. Jumper taken and good. A high arcing jumper from Kyler Blair. And the freshman gets his first bucket. Strader against the full court press. Gives it to Brogdon near midcourt. And thrown to Conway on the far wing. Back up to Brogdon and over to Strader. Strader will attack and go up. Miss the shot. Rebound by Harless. And he'll give it back to Carter. 78-54 Ashland here in the 4th. Carter over to Harless. Back to Browning. High post. Browning's going to power it in. Browning 6'3" and shuffled his feet a little bit there. Turnover for Chapmanville. But Browning built like a football. Another one that's built like a football player. Built like an offensive lineman. Just powered his way in there but shuffled his feet while doing so as Morris has it now against the man-to-man, and it's deflected, taken away by Blair. He's going to lay it up and in. 9th Tomcat turnover, and Blair gets his 4th point, 78-56 Ashland. Strader against Blair. Strader looking against the pressure. Will bring it back to midcourt, and he'll dribble it over to the near wing. And a whistle blows. 30-second timeout called by Ashland. We'll keep it here. 78-56 Tomcats right now. There's only 7 seconds left in this one. I don't know, Coach Bonner's just trying to get the troops rallied here, Wade. Just trying to get everybody to settle down and get out of this one with a win. But the Tomcats just opened up. The closest it was 2-2, and then 9-7. Ashland would lead 9-2, 9-7. That was as close as it got. Chapmanville threatened some of the way, but it's twofold, I think. First off, the shooting tonight. Strader's going to inbound now, and he'll give it to Lynch, who holds it on the near wing in front of the bench. Back up to Strader, up to Conway, and that'll do it. The Tomcats win 78-56 and improve to 11-4 on the season. Chapmanville will fall to 9-3. We want to give a special thank you to Lowell Austin here tonight on production for all he does. As now we're going to take a break and come back. We'll run through some final stats, and then we'll have Ashland head coach Ryan Bonner on here on 97.9 The River.
Kelly Galloway Smith Goolsby has been providing accounting, tax, and attest services for the tri-state community and across the United States. Since 1951, individuals, medical practices, attorneys, corporations, Main Street businesses, local schools, and governments have relied on us for expert advice, tax preparation, and attest services. With offices in Ashland and Cincinnati, Kelly Galloway Smith Goolsby are here for your accounting and tax needs. For over 70 years, Kelly Galloway Smith Goolsby has been there for businesses in our community. They're here for yours too. Call them and let Kelly Galloway Smith Goolsby provide for the future of your business.
Tired of seeing those dings, dents, and scratches on your car? Then you need to see McLeod's Body Shop, your trusted partner for all things auto repair and restoration for 45 years. At McLeod's Body Shop, they're not just in the business of fixing cars, they're in the business of turning heads. Their team of skilled technicians are dedicated to bringing your vehicle back to its prime, no matter the make or model. From minor touch-ups to major overhauls, McLeod's Body Shop has you covered. McLeod's Body Shop says, go Tomcats.
No down payment? No problem. Here at KFB, we make homeownership easy with our no down payment home loans. Whether you're buying your first home or ready for something new, KFB is here to guide you every step of the way. Apply today and take the first step towards your dream home with no money down. Restrictions apply. Not all applicants will qualify. KFB, the better bank. Located at Ashland, Catlettsburg, Louisa, Summit, and Wheelersburg. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Catch all the action of Ashland Tomcats basketball all season long on your radio home for the Tomcats 97.9 The River. The River has you covered for each and every Tomcats basketball game, both home and away, as the Tomcats look to bring home another championship. Download the app today or listen online at 979theriver.com. Ashland Tomcats basketball on 97.9 The River is sponsored by Kentucky Farmers Bank, McLeod's Body Shop, and Community Trust Bank. Ashland Tomcats basketball from Kindred Communications.
The Tomcats play here. 97.9 The River.
We're back here on 97.9 The River. Ashland with a 78-56 win over Chapmanville. And I'm going to the it adds.
I got it at 78.
Okay, so I'll go with that thing. Yeah, Lindsay Neal here. Much appreciation to her for did the stats for this game and the JV game. So definitely working hard out there tonight for the Tomcats. And as now we'll go through some final numbers. I have Ashland, and this is unofficial, but Caleb Clark leading the way with 20 for the Tomcats. Elijah Neal had 12 tonight. I'm at 10. 12 was the actual score for him. So corrected that. Owens finished the game with 14. Drew Smith finished with 18. Lynch finished with 2 threes off the bench. He had 6. Hughes had 5. And Dawson Morris hit a 3-pointer. You're scoring for the Tomcats. Pretty balanced for Chapmanville, and they got a lot of depth. Martin had 9, and Brock had 9. Dalton had 10. Blair had 4. Smith had 12. Ashland held Benji Adkins to a single bucket. I'm sure our friend Benji Adkins back on it. That's it. I knew we'd have some fun with that. But, yeah, Benji Adkins, of course, is a very good player for Chapmanville, and a great job the Tomcats did on him and on Keaton Terry. Terry with 10, but the Tomcats surrounded him and Adkins anytime they touched the ball in the post, and it worked tonight. And they didn't get out-rebounded too bad, I don't think, either. I don't have the numbers on that, but they did a pretty good job on that front. But I feel like that they did tonight was, again, it comes down to establishing your brand of basketball. The Chapmanville Tigers are an excellent basketball team, 9-2 coming into tonight, and had 3, but they score about 10 fewer points per game than does Ashland. Now that could change some with Keaton Terry coming back, but they don't try to push the tempo as much. Ashland does, and there were some times tonight I feel like Ashland was able to turn this into a track meet. They started out as Ashland would open it up with a 2-0 lead, then Chapmanville would tie it, and that was as close as it got. Ashland would go on a 7-0 run from then before Chapmanville would respond with a 5-0 run of their own to cut it to 9-7. The Tomcats would conclude the first quarter outscoring Chapmanville 7-2 to be up 16-9. Then the second quarter, the Tomcats would continue to extend on that lead. River Lynch would hit both of his threes in that quarter, and they would push it out to 35-22 at halftime. Then in the third, it got a little out of hand when it reached 44-24 in the third, and Ashland would continue to attack on that front, but it wasn't very long before Chapmanville would go on a 10-2 run and cut the lead to 46-34. Ashland would quickly respond, however, with a run of their own, a 10-2 run, to push it back out to 20. So, and again, a big part of that was Dakota Dalton. He got going in that stretch, and they were able to cut the lead back to 12. So I feel like Ashland was able to get it going, to get the tempo back in the third and kind of return the pace to more their favor after Chapmanville went on that run. And, folks, this is a good basketball team. They're just 3 years removed from a state championship. This coach, Napier, 3 state championships under his belt, 2018, 2019, and 2023. So Chapmanville, a fantastic program, and he's done a great job getting this to all work out. We're going to take a break here and come back. We're going to have Ashland coach Ryan Bonner here shortly. You're listening to 97.9 The River.
Metro Community Federal Credit Union now brings you all the tech that big banks have, but still has that personal touch of a member-owned community credit union. Apple Pay? Got it. Digital wallet? Yep. Message pay by text, online loan payments, even chatting with a real person, not a bot. Open accounts, sign documents, and manage your money all online. It's the big bank tech you need from the local community-minded credit union you trust. Metro Community FCU. Visit metrocommunityfcu.com today.
Hey, it's Big John. Are you hungry for a taste of home? Well, come on down to Uncle Paul and Missy's Country Kitchen, located 230 16th Street in Ashland. They serve old-fashioned home-cooked meals in a true family atmosphere. From hearty breakfast to daily specials, there's always something fresh and on the table. Bring the whole family and let them do the cooking. Proud supporters of the Ashland Tomcats, Uncle Paul and Missy's is cooking up that hot Tomcat spirit. Uncle Paul and Missy's Country Kitchen, where good food and good company come together.
Our Kendrick Communications family of stations reminds you of the need for blood donations to the Red Cross. Blood is always needed. It may save your life or the life of a loved one. This reminder is brought to you in part by
Mark Porter Chevy and GMC in Ashland. Home of the Car Ferry, online at markporterautogroup.com. Baum Lumber, your place for quality roof trusses, building materials, hot spring spas, lawn equipment, and more. Visit baumlumber.com. Go Mark. Go for good times. Go for Go Mark.
Life. What is life? Life is a collection of moments. Moments that stay with you a lifetime. Make those memories and moments happen at CF Rushline Jewelers with our complete line of Gabriel & Company diamond rings, engagement rings, and wedding bands. CF Rushline Jewelers is your place to make those life moments happen. Visit CF Rushline Jewelers at 947 3rd Avenue in Huntington, across from Pullman Square, or visit online at cfrjewelers.com.
The Tomcats play here. 97.9 The River.
Ashland with a 78-56 win on the road at Chapmanville. And Ryan, wow. Honestly, I did not expect this and coming in, but man, this might be the best. I haven't seen the final numbers, of course, but this might be our best defensive performance all season.
Really, really impressed with our intensity on the defensive end, and it's something that we emphasize every single day. And you and I had a heart-to-heart yesterday about our deflections and how important that is to our defense. And we finished with 22 deflections tonight. And Elijah Owens had 11 of those. So when you're looking at those deflection numbers, it tells you that your defensive activity is where it needs to be. Quite frankly, I thought our best post defense was just our pressure defense. Being able to deflect, not allow them to enter the ball to their spots. That was huge for us, and I thought, overall they got some easy ones, especially late, but I thought we did a great job defending the post. And what was great about it was a total team effort. Whether that was putting two bodies on a big, or whether that was denying a wing entry so they couldn't get it in, it was a total team effort defending the post, and a really quality win against a really good opponent that I think will be right in the mix for a 3A state title. Just our effort 1 through 5, production off the bench, everything was there tonight. Not to say that there's not a whole lot of things that we can get better at, because there is, but I definitely think we paid dividends from having that week down to where we could just really just settle down and just focus on us as a team.
Yeah, and Elijah, 11 deflections. I have him, unofficially, I have him at 14 points tonight. He hit a couple threes.
Yeah.
And, looking at the numbers, if you look at the numbers coming in, 11 of 41 from downtown for 26.8%, but you consider prior to the AIT, he was 0 for 11 starting the year. So he's been right around same number as Justin Hughes since, about 37%.
Yep, and Justin hit a big one tonight. And Justin, I think, is an unsung hero tonight.
Agreed.
He was outstanding on the glass. Rebounded the ball very, very well for us, especially in the first half. And what was great about it is they weren't just like 1-on-0 rebounds. They were rebounds where there were multiple sets of hands on those basketballs, and it was him coming out with them. And we need him to do that every single night for us. And he only finished with 5 points, but he was an absolute X factor for us because of the way he defended and the way that he rebounded. And it's just another step forward for him taking on the role that we need him to for us. Knock down a three when we need you to, and then go grab every stinking rebound that comes off the rim, and you guard your butt off. And he was 3 for 3 in those categories tonight. And I was really proud of him. CC he's getting ready to come on. Phenomenal effort. He did a really good job running the floor and getting transition looks for us. And CC's another guy that just sets the tone for us. I mean, he plays with 100% effort 100% of the time, and that permeates. Our guys take on that spirit when those guys play hard like that, and it makes It's
and I had a deflection.
Had Tyler rolling for a deflection.
Got hit with the volleyball almost.
That's 23 now.
There we go.
But no, our team takes on that spirit when those guys play with effort like that. It's contagious.
Yeah, and Hughes and I don't know how many blocks we had, Ryan, but I mean they both had. I think Owens could have had as many as 5 blocks.
Yeah, his activity level and his effort level was unbelievable, and just for a true freshman to play the way that he does and to play with the confidence that he does is pretty rare. And what I love about this team in general is I get on to them. I'm on them like crazy, and I know they probably get sick of it. But one thing I do not have to coach or demand or emphasize is effort. I have never once had to demand these guys to play hard because they just do it on their own. It's in their DNA. It's who they are. And they just play with extreme effort all the time. And I always believe that when you play hard, the game has a way of honoring you as a team when you play with effort. And it also can mask some of the mistakes that you make throughout the course of the game when you just play your tail off. And we did that tonight.
Yeah, and his last question coming up, what do you think about, they get a day off and then I guess they may shoot around a little bit or something. Then Monday, the defending state champion, Great Crossing.
Yeah, and it's a Great Crossing team that's a lot better than I think what people are giving them credit for.
I agree.
They're good, and it's just you don't look out there and you see Malachi Moreno and Vinny Dawson and L.J. Holman and all those guys, but they are still a really good basketball team, and they got one of the best big men in Kentucky, in the Orem kid, who's putting up really good numbers, averaging almost a double-double. So, we'll give them the day off with the understanding that those guys need to find some time to get into the gym tomorrow and just get some shots up on their own. That's their homework. And then Monday we'll get in the gym that morning to prepare for Great Crossing and what should be another dogfight of a basketball game. I know our guys are excited.
Yeah, that's the thing, because you've got the Great Crossing. I think they're 8-8 if I recall right.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things like you have these teams that play ridiculous schedules, and they'll be 8-8, and they can beat any team in the state they come across.
Yeah, and they're in the 11th region where every night is just a gauntlet. That record is very deceiving, and we were able to get eyes on them last weekend at Berea College. They played right before us, and they're good. They're good. They're well coached, and obviously they present a huge problem for us when you talk about matchups. So tonight it was a good way to help kind of prepare us for Monday when you look at the size that Chapmanville had and then what we're going to have to go up against on Monday.
Yeah, it makes you think the 8th, it's like, or the 11th, you got 4 or 5 teams that could be top 25. It's I think in the fourth region, like you have Bowling Green, Greenwood, and Warren Central, same district, and Greenwood was a top 15 team in the state. They didn't even get to the regional tournament, and that's kind of how the 11th is in a lot of ways.
Exactly.
So, well, Coach, thank you so much, man, and great win tonight, 78-56 over an excellent Chapmanville basketball team. We're going to have Caleb Clark coming on now. And we got him and our Director of Basketball Operations, Luke Mays, with us. CC, man, you finished with 20 tonight. You had 2 dunks, and the thing tonight is it felt like you're rebounding. I mean, Benji Adkins is a big, strong man. He's a starting tight end on his football team. Keaton Terry, 6'7". I mean, he's muscular. He's good on the boards. And you came in there. I mean, you didn't just get, so like Coach Bonner was saying, you guys just didn't get, rebounds that were, coming to you. You fought in there to get some and came through big tonight.
Yeah, I think me making a statement early on the glass, I think that's definitely what got us going, especially our energy, even on the bench. Coach Bonner, he talked to us about us keeping it maybe a little bit down on the bench because the last 4 out of the 5 games we've gotten a bench warning in. Us keeping our energy like that and starting the game off like that, I think that's definitely what's going to help us win games early on.
Yeah, and you had inside, I mean, again, you finished with 20, hit a couple free throws. And your free throw, whatever you're doing on the free throw end, it looks like you put some extra time in. I mean, you were shooting in the low 60s to start out. Yep. You're up to 76% on the season.
Oh, yeah. I like staying in the gym. I think that's all I do, staying in the gym, working hard, especially with my teammates. And I think that's what makes us so good.
Yeah, CC, who's committed to Cumberland University in Tennessee. And going through some notes here, let's talk about that first quarter because you came in on a road, hostile environment. This is a team that's won 3 state championships in the last decade. You come in, and, I mean, you guys led. The closest it was tied at 2, and you guys led the whole way. You forced 5 turnovers in that first quarter.
Oh, yeah, I think I had a slow start, but our team behind me, they helped us get through it. I wasn't scoring the ball well, but all I wanted to do is just, provide on the defensive end, and I think that's what got us going also.
Next up Monday, you got Great Crossing, the defending state champion. I know they lost a lot, but they're still really good. They can beat any team in the state. Your thoughts going in Monday with everything?
It's a great team. I think if we're prepared, if we take the day off, and even if we just get in the gym and just crank up a few shots tomorrow, I think that can definitely help us. We got a tough stretch of games upcoming. I think we just got to stay focused and keep grinding.
Yeah, and last question, CC, any shout-outs you want to give?
Shout-out to my parents, my family, my teammates, coaches, and all them, especially the Ashland basketball staff, and most of all, shout-out to Luke Mays.
Yeah, you know what, Luke, anyone you want to say hello to, buddy?
What?
Anyone you want to say hello to, Luke?
Yeah, I gotta go Paige, I gotta go family, I gotta go CC, I gotta go with Proud over here, I gotta dumps, I gotta go free throws, and along with the 2, I got CC, I gotta go Reavers, we got CC, Relax, and CC, and Reaver, 2, so Reaver is going to 3-pointer, and there are lots of overs.
Yes, sir, Luke.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. The Director of Basketball Operations, Luke Mays. And with that final note, we're going to say thank you all for tuning in and listening. God bless, and good night, everybody, here from Chapmanville High School. Next game Monday night, 6 o'clock, against the defending state champion, Great Crossing at Ashland.